Good morning, y'all. Welcome. This is the Redneck Kayak Angler coming to you again. We're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to talk about jigs because I'm a jig fisherman. I just prefer to fish jigs. I like working the bottom, swim jigs, things of that nature. I just got done eating my morning breakfast, Little Debbie's. Can't live without them. Gotta have that Little Debbie. Makes you nice and healthy. One Little Debbie a day, keep that doctor away. So pretty much we're going to talk about jigs. I do have a jig company I work with specifically that is Hooked Up Fishing 365. He is a custom jig maker. He hand paints, hand ties the skirts, everything like that. They are excellent jigs. I've never had as much luck fishing tournaments with jigs than I have with these. So I guess we'll get down to the nitty gritty of the whole video here. And we'll start with creature jigs. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I know when I first got on with Hooked Up Fishing 365 that I'd never heard of creature jigs before. They do look awesome. Now, the cool thing about these jigs is they do not require you to tie a trailer on, to put a trailer on that hook. And that is a 4/0 Mustad hook. Now, these creature jigs, they do come in only 1/2 ounce. But if you look here, they're custom powder painted. I've used this one twice. I used it on Saturday, and I threw it about 150 times, and not even a scratch on that paint. So I do like the quality of the paint. It is a silicone skirt, but the awesome fact about it is I'm normally spending about 3 to 5 minutes tying on or putting on a creature bait or like a coffin crawl or a bug of some sort, and then you're setting the bait. With this, you don't have to. You pretty much tie that thing on. I throw this on 17-pound Fish's fluorocarbon. Because it's a heavier jig, you don't want to have all that finessey jazz going on. But yes, this one is actually called chili pepper. And I did catch a fish in a laydown on one of the local reservoirs on Saturday morning. That is a good jig. There's another creature jig I have here. This is called Hot Hands, as you can tell by the chartreuse trailer on there. But the same principle goes with this one. You got your mustard sharp hook. Yeah, you can hook yourself pretty good. So it's pretty sharp. And then you got that weight on there. Oh, I actually punctured on that one. I need to stop doing this stupid stuff. I'm gonna hurt myself. But remember, they are 1/2 ounce. So if you do throw them, there's a few specific conditions in which I throw the creature jigs. I throw it in heavy brush. So if you see a laydown and that tree is about 10 foot, 13 foot tall, and you only see 3 foot of it, rest of that's underwater. I try to put that jig right between the limbs underwater. So I do that, and then also it's really good for humps. So you bring that over, you got the hump in the middle, it's like this, and then the sides drop down like the hands right there. And you bring that jig over the top of here, and it comes right on, and then it falls down there in a nice pattern, and that tail behind it going, and the fish just love it. So the next jig we're going to talk about that I got from Hooked Up Fishing 365. I do have a lot more of these jigs. I'm just showing you the ones I fished with on Saturday morning. I'm still trying to test all of them out. I've only tested about maybe 1/16 the amount of jigs I currently have in the house at the present moment. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Hooked Up Fishing 365 bladed jigs. The movement of these is awesome. When I go to take a look at jigs at the store, like on the shelf at Academy, because I'm cheap, I go to Academy, because, especially when them sales are on. You get a redneck in a sale, that's like a hog in slop. It's going to be day in, day out there. But this right here is called the robin's egg. Now, an actual robin's egg, when you see one, is actually that turquoise color. Now, the cool thing about these bladed jigs that I haven't seen on any other bladed jig, gotta say bladed jig, don't say chatterbait. Good God, don't say chatterbait. But the bladed jig is it's got a weed guard on it. So it gives it a little more movement as well, different presentation, and also when you're bringing it underneath tree limbs and stuff, that weed guard helps it come up. So it hit that tree limb, bam, come right back on up and start going crazy again. But what I like most about these is their skirting. They're so full, they're robust. I mean, holy crap. I mean, it's like a peacock. So, I mean, I love using this. I actually caught a little 2-pounder on it. I mean, I don't have any pictures because I don't take my phone out there if I don't have to, because I don't know if any of y'all have them smartphones. I guess the smartphone makes me smarter because I'm dumber and I'm using a smartphone. I don't know how that works, but if you got these smartphones, you don't want to drop no $600 phone in the water and have the bass watching Netflix while you're spending another $600 on a phone. So that's the robin's egg bladed jig. I also have one of my favorites is the Sergeant Pepper bladed jig. Now, if you do get these jigs, you can special order the different color of blade. Just specify and comment below on Hooked Up, www.hookedupfishing365.com. When you go to check out, it says make comments. Be like, well, I'm Sergeant Pepper. I want a purple blade on there. You can pretty much make that go. But yeah, that is Sergeant Pepper. And again, it does come with a 4/0 mustad hook. Now, another thing I use a lot, instead of spinner baits, I use swim jigs. Mainly these guys. This right here is the Texas watermelon. Now, for swim jigs, I like to use paddle tail trailers. I like to use fluke like trailers. I mean, you can use pretty much a crawl trailer. You can use any trailer really on swim jigs. It's just every trailer you put on it is going to give it a different presentation in the water for the bass to see. And again, these come with 4/0 mustad hooks as well. It's just, I mean, when I first got these jigs in the mail, they just show. It's a flash show. It's like the 4th of July in a tackle box. But I really do love using these. Another one we have is, like all rednecks out there, we are pretty reckless. I've never liked pink. It's not my color. I thought I could never pull it off, but when I'm swimming a swim jig, I can pull off some pink. Yeah, so that's pretty reckless. I mean, if you look at the head there, you got yellow, pink, orange. I mean, it's so detailed. My favorite jigs to throw, I hate to say it, I throw them on 6 pound, 6 to 8 pound line on my finesse rig that I throw my Ned rigs and shaky heads on. But I like my finesse. I mean, this spider skirt is awesome. I mean, if you look from the back, I'm going to hold the head. I'm going to see if I can get a good angle on this. That spider skirt just looks awesome. And on the Mustad hook, you get a 2/0. It's a smaller hook because it is a finesse jig. So it's a different presentation of a jig and a shaky head, but it's a mid-range. So you got the jig here, the shaky head, and right in the middle you got the finesse jig. But yes, this is the cornflower blue. And I like the fact that you have a weed guard on these as well, because some of the finesse jigs that you purchase from the store, they do not have the weed guards. So you might want to purchase about 10 of them, because you're going to toss that in a lay down or some brush piles and you're going to lose it. That's pretty much how it goes. This gives you a little bit better of a chance of getting that back. And these do come 2 to a pack. This right here is called burnt crust. Had some decent luck. Now, when you're throwing these finesse jigs, you can throw trailers, you can throw Ned rig trailer, you can throw half of a stick bait, you can throw 3/4 of a crawl. You can tie it on there. You can get all those different presentations. It's not that big of a deal. But you are likely to get a few smaller ones. Few little dinkers are going to bite this because it's smaller. My luck has it that I'll catch about 4 little dinkers that won't even measure up on the board. And then all of a sudden I'll throw that thing in there and I'll bring up a 15, 16-inch bass. So, I mean, these work awesome. I've never thrown one and not caught a fish. Now, those are just a few of the jigs I use. I mean, I like to work the bottom. Everybody's got their confidence bait. My confidence bait is jigs and shaky heads, bottom baits most of the time. I'll go out there with my finesse gear and just throw that thing all day. And I'll catch fish, but the whole point of fishing is not to go out there and catch fish, because it wouldn't be called fishing then, it'd be called catching. So if you get all ticked off because you went out and got skunked, well, you got skunked. You need to get back out there and learn some more techniques, because you can't just go use that same technique every lake you go to, because it's going to change up. It's all dependent on what the bass tell you they want. So that is the video for today. I'll put the website in the description. If you want, to tell you the truth, if you want me to talk about something that you feel needs to be discussed because you're a beginner kayak angler, or you're a beginning fisherman, heck, if you're sitting there on the bank in a rocking chair with a beer, tell me what you want to know, because I'm one of those people. I'm simple. I go to Walmart, I go to Dollar General, and I get my lures from there, my hooks, and I mean, not my jigs. I like my jigs from Hooked Up Fishing 365. But, you know, if you want to learn a few techniques that I've learned over the past 2 years to catch decent fish, bass fish mostly, but please put it in the comments. I I will answer accordingly. If I do not know the answer, I will do research and I will find out. And of course, if it's about a new technique, my my job to do videos on techniques, I need to go out there and spend a week doing this technique. So I will do my research and I will do my utmost ability to catch fish using this technique. Don't ask me about no Tokyo rig. I don't like that thing and never will. But you know, I mean, I'll tell you, it'd be like, oh, swim jig, do you pop it? Do you reel it in straight? Do you kind of reel it slow, speed up, reel it slow, speed up, pop? You know, it's one of those things. I will describe to you what, as a beginner angler and a beginner kayak angler, what I would do. And of course, I will do my research. I don't like lying to people. It's not one of those good things. It's against my moral code. So feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll talk to you again.